Hey everyone, welcome back to ChaatNChat. My name is Josh.
My name is Miguel.
And we're watching Manjummel, boys. This is part 3, so if you've missed part 1 or part 2, then go and watch them. We're going to put the links in the description below, as always. And since this is a non-Hindi film we're watching in Malayalam, we're going to be offering a Hindi dub as well. So if this is not the language you prefer, then check the description below to watch the version that you feel comfortable with. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing, sharing, and like button. You're getting good at that. Even he wouldn't go means no one will go.
Oh, wow.
How does that work?
Exactly. How does the government not support people like that? I mean, you die in the line of duty, whether you're a fireman or even an ambulance driver or other things like that. You should be, your family should be taken care of. Relatively clear water for a natural spring that he can open his eyes and see.
Man, that's even in Hollywood, like going in the ocean and opening your eyes, like the salt water burns so bad. Yeah. No, it's a movie thing.
Well, but this isn't the ocean.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, it's a movie thing.
Yeah,
to be able to see underwater.
True.
Oh, he's gonna do it. Yeah. There's... I'm pretty sure all of them would go. And they have more attachment. Like what he said is true. Is it's like for you it's a job, but for us it's like life.
Yeah.
Like he's part of our life, you know?
Yeah.
Ready? Irangalama? Ready. Rope hold பண்ணுங்க.
They don't have any harness? Jeez.
தம்பி நீ எங்கே இருங்க? நான் சொல்றத அவர்கிட்ட சொல்லுங்க. Okay?
Yeah, they're just kind of making do with whatever they got right now.
But well, I'm just thinking that they're in a mountainous village area. They must have better ropes and harnesses and other things like that. Turn your little headlight on. There you go. Step 1. And the hardest part is the first step. I know, it's...
Oh, yeah. Man, just the hanging feet over that hole just freaks me out. I don't like heights either. Lowering him down like bait on a fishing line.
Do you hear the heartbeat in the background?
Yeah.
That's pretty spooky. You know that he's down a ways because he sounded so far away.
Yeah. But he's like maybe thinking if he could call out, he'd know a little bit how close he is. As he gets closer, it'd sound closer. I'm surprised they didn't give him a handheld flashlight as well.
None of them offered to say, "Hey, we can help with the hoist. We do this all the time."
That looked too rickety.
Yeah, just a bit, huh?
Can he not hear him? Like, he's not really responding.
Yeah. And, I mean, this was When? 2006?
Yeah.
They should have walkie-talkies.
I think you're thinking this place is a lot more funded
Well,
than they are.
walkie-talkies are not that expensive.
Yeah, but
I get it. I mean, look at the crummy ropes they're using, and
oh, did you hear? It sounded like you could subtly hear his voice.
oh, there's clothing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, bats.
Just stay still. They know where you're at. You don't know where they're at.
Oh, dude. He's got to be getting close now, right? I hope they have enough rope.
கம்மியாக இருக்க சான்ஸ் இருக்கு அதுக்கும் கீழே இறங்குனா ரிஸ்க் தான்
120 feet. Dude, to be so close and to tell you to stop. Trust that not. You know, with all the bat guano, it probably smells rancid.
Well,
there
that's
too.
why he keeps smelling the fruit.
Oh.
It's to clear his nose and yes, the bat guano is super slippery.
Oh, there he is. Wow, he is just barely on that ledge. Yeah, that's cause for excitement. Oh, dude's in rough shape, though. There's no way he was gonna grab a rope. It's an interesting lens. They're having the red,
like, yeah,
the blood,
and it's
shot eyes encroaching.
yeah. So, dude, don't just like grab him because he's
You're gonna have to. I mean,
yeah, but
has
you
to
have
figure
to
it out.
figure it out because it's like you.
I mean, if it was gonna be a separate rope anyway, to have it pre-knotted. You know, there's a chance that he'd like go into shock too, right? Because of all the pain.
Yes, and the thing is that if you tie him wrong, you can exsanguate his body, basically. Yeah, you have to really know what you're doing because it can just go wrong. Even though you're right there, you can. Yeah, cause he.
What?
It's a Anna.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Yep. Get the professionals.
Yeah, see, he two things. He tied him in a way that it's now putting a lot of pressure on his body, and that's why, yeah, it's so bad.
There he goes. That's a better position. Yeah. Show him how it's done. Actually, now the rocks being slippery is a good thing so
Yes.
that you don't get snagged, so that you
Yep.
can slip up the rocks
Yep.
without having to climb.
Oh, man.
He must have passed out from the pain.
From the pain, yeah.
I mean, that's,
Yeah.
I guess, a blessing. Else this would be so much torture.
It was more than 120 feet down, so usually you count about 12 feet for a story building, and so that's 10 floors. He fell, it's like falling from a 10-story building.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, there's...
Yeah, those guys, their hands are like on fire. These guys are doing the work, though.
Easy to let you down, and it's harder to pull up.
Yeah.
And nowadays, again, the well-equipped ones have engines that basically you can use, and they have a clutch, so you can ease up and do very smooth up. I knew that was going to happen.
Oh, when he was going down.
Yeah, that little devil pitch right there.
Yeah, they're gonna have to pull it out and around. Okay, I mean,
No,
careful
you can.
to... Oh, right in the head.
You need to let you back down so you can see.
Yeah, you need to... Oh no, you gotta stop. That's not gonna work. I don't...
No,
That's not the answer.
No.
What is he gonna do? What is his... He's really scaring me on the... Okay, so maybe he's the one to give the strategy. Give some slack. Oh yeah, that's dangerous with the... I didn't even think about it being muddy for them too. He did it. That was like the most stressful... I don't know how long that was, but I've just like... Jeez.
I'm sweating.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sweating.
Yeah, me too. Oh, he's all beaten up too. He's got wounds all over his back. Get this guy to a hospital fast.
Yeah. Come on. Cover up that hole before someone else falls in.
Yeah. Wow, it was like an entire community effort, like everyone around. I thought they were taking him to a hospital.
Yeah, you would think.
Or,
I mean, they should also have him... No, don't be giving him water. If he has internal injuries, that's the worst thing you can do.
really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
But I'd imagine he'd be dehydrated for how long
Yes.
he's been under there.
Yes. But again, he should not be crumpled up like that. He should be laid out. He should be being medically assessed. But
என்ன சார் பண்றது ஸ்டேஷனுக்கு கூட்டி போணும் ஃபார்மாலிட்டிஸ் எல்லாம் பண்ணணும்
சார் ஃபார்மாலிட்டிஸாக அப்புறம் பார்க்கலாம் சார் இல்லை அடிப்பட்டு கிடக்கு ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் கூட்டு போகாமல் ஃபார்மாலிட்டிஸ் அதுன்னு
For sure.
Yes.
என்ன சார் பண்ணலாம்
ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் கூட்டு போங்க.
Yes. Duh.
Dude, if they made him go to a station to fill out forms
And all debrisement as they're pulling out various rocks and shards and they're out and then cleaning up
disinfected.
yeah, as well as broken bones. Don't even know if he's not paralyzed, because again, I mean, he fell pretty hard on his spine multiple times.
நான் வேணா அவர்கிட்ட பேசி ட்ரை பண்றேன்.
ஓகே டாக்டர்.
Like jurisdiction issues with the police? Like
குகையில இருந்து உங்க நண்பனை காப்பாத்தின எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் பத்தி.
ഞങ്ങളൊന്ന് വീട്ടിലോട്ട് നോക്കട്ടെ പ്ലീസ്.
Sir, please sir.
yeah, not a time for an interview. Jeez. Let him get to a hospital first.
It was a long drive there, and oh my goodness. No, he shouldn't be well. This is going to be all the news and locally.
ഇപ്പൊ എല്ലാരും നശിപ്പിക്കാൻ നടക്കുന്ന എന്തിനാണ്? പണ്ടാണ് അടങ്ങാനായിട്ട്.
Oh man. That's not the
ഇല്ലടാ കുഴപ്പമില്ല. പ്രസാദ്
welcoming I thought he would get.
താൻ വിട്ടോ, എന്തെങ്കിലും ആവശ്യമുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ വിളിക്കാം. ശരി.
So many broken bones, and I'm sure lots of
Fractures and everything.
Internal injuries. This was a life-changing event for them all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it feels weird to get back to your normal life after all that. What the hell?
He got up.
Yeah, but dude, just let your body heal. At least he's not paralyzed.
Yeah.
Oh, the nightmares he must be
yeah.
having.
PTSD. Oh. How he's on his back, I don't know, with those kinds of wounds.
I think he just needs time.
നമ്മൾ നിസ്സാരമായി കാണാൻ പാടില്ല. അത് ഈ മഞ്ഞുമ്മലിൽ മാത്രം ഒതുങ്ങി നിൽക്കേണ്ടതല്ല. നമ്മൾ എത്രയും വേഗം അടുത്ത കുർബാനയിലെ ഈ ഇടവകയിലെ മുഴുവൻ ജനങ്ങളെയും വിളിച്ചുകൂട്ടി ഈ വിവരം പറയണം.
So maybe she didn't know the whole story before she reacted.
They told him that he fell in the waterfall.
Yeah, but I thought they would at least tell his mom the full story about what happened.
എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒപ്പിച്ചാ?
ഞാൻ തോപ്പിക്കാൻ.
പിന്നെന്താണ്?
So she didn't know the story, but now she knows the full story. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Well, the boys were trying to keep the story from hitting back home. I think he became a super hot guy in town.
Oh, look, they covered it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's high time they did. I mean, they had greats in other places, and they said he wasn't the first to fall down. So I'm surprised after the very first one they didn't cover it.
Beautiful places can be very dangerous.
Yeah. Just saying, I mean, nature, can be, as you said, like really pretty, but it's to be respected and not to be taken lightly.
Yeah.
Seen
there they are.
Photos of the real guys.
Yeah.
It's kind of haunting in a way to see these photos of them being so happy and not knowing what is just right around the corner. selfless act. Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Whoa. Okay. I don't know, like, how I'm gonna sleep tonight.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so wound up. Like, I'm so tense. And it just... Oh, that is haunting. The music, the background music, and the sound design, like the sound effects that they added. I mean, it was really haunting.
You definitely don't want to be claustrophobic and afraid of heights, and because there are elements of this movie that can get you going. That, and also if you're not really good with the dark. I mean, if you think about it, he couldn't see what was happening. All he knew was he was getting hit and bashed, and it all happened in an instant to him.
Yeah. And that's what I really appreciated about the moment where he fell too, is it like they didn't over dramatize him falling in the hole. That's why it was almost unbelievable.
Yep.
It was he was there 1 second and then all of a sudden he was like boom, gone.
Boom, yep.
Because a lot of the times in like Hollywood and like over dramatizing these falls, they'll like try to capture every single angle as he's falling. Like they'll like subtly hint at like his foot getting closer to the edge and then rock sort of slipping and then boom, he's like falls. But no, none of that. No hints, nothing. It was just like I mean, of course, they foreshadowed it a little bit with them jumping on the grates earlier and even looking down into holes. So it was foreshadowed, but the actual moment just happened in like a split second. It felt, I mean, that's real, right? Because you don't,
real life.
You don't get those warnings in real life. You don't see the rocks falling down. So how many Pani Puri out of 10? Would you rate it?
I'm going to give it a 9. I'm going to give it a solid 9. It's one of these movies that there wasn't any one particular standout actor, but as a collective whole, they were acting as an acting whole.
Yeah.
I get it. The dynamics of this organism, this group of them, which is like an organism. It has its loud components. It has its strong silent components. It has, the one that behaves this way and the one that behaves that way. Cohesively, they come together, and they were a very strong group together. So even though they poke each other, that was just part of their way of showing each other that they cared about them, that they acknowledged them, and they were part of their life.
Yeah.
It was a boys' trip, and the boys' trip went wrong. Every step of the way, they kept running into these people that kept saying no, 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 no. And they kept winning as a collective whole, kept winning over each one step by step by step. I kind of like that because after a while, even the locals were getting in on doing that behavior. So it goes to show that if there's enough passion and drive around something, you can enlist others, even though normally they wouldn't. They would have just gone with what they already knew. And I'm really glad about that. So.
I am going to rate it a 10 out of 10 because it had me hooked. Everything about the journey from start to finish, and especially, I mean, even before he fell down the hole, I was really into it. And like I said, even from the very, very, very beginning, it was very apparent that they took efforts into the sound design, and it played a role just as much as the actors did. If not for that sound design, this could have been a very boring movie. Yes. I mean, the subject matter was intense for sure, but a lot of those moments that were kind of like pulled out and strung out became like you're walking on a thin line because of the music was just this, it hit you in the soul. Like my soul felt every one of those. And you pointed out one of the heartbeat things, and they used that heartbeat like throughout. Really intense, but even before it was intense, it was captivating with the cinematography, the lighting choices. Everything was pulling me in. It could have very easily been a very boring 2 hours and some minutes, but it wasn't. I was fully in it for the full duration. What you said, it wasn't necessarily about one of their performances. And I'm glad that they didn't really focus too much, because there were just so many characters that it would have been really hard to try to do character development on each one individually. So it was like their group was the character.
Exactly.
Really enjoyed it because I saw them as a group, and each one playing a part of a personality. So I really appreciate that. It was really good. And the callback to the tug of war with the rope. And I mean, you called that so early on. You're like, yeah, then they're going to have to do that, because then it's like, that's why they focused on it in the beginning. Yeah. So it's those like little details that you are known for catching, and everyone's going to be like, man, Miguel is on point again. It's just, it's what he does.
I like details like that.
Yeah.
I like looking at the big picture.
And those sort of things, those callbacks, that's what gives you the goosebumps, is because it's like something that they know that they can do, because they felt helpless this entire time while he was down there. They're like, what do we do? Put your bodies in front of the water. They wanted to do something, but they didn't have an ability or know what to do until it came time to perform. And then once they knew there was something they could do, all of them immediately jumped into action. And it was like, we got this. This is our thing.
We as individuals often go through that moment of absolute frantic desperation to do anything. We're not sure what we need to do, but we will do the weirdest of things to try and do something.
Yeah.
And
it makes you feel like that you're being like doing something instead of just sitting there.
Right.
I mean, proactive instead of being passive.
Right.
And even if what you're doing isn't helping, I mean, it makes you feel better and less helpless if you're doing something.
Well, and sometimes you inadvertently put yourself in even more danger. You know, they're all crowding right around this hole, and I'm like going, there's water coming in, and you want to
slip
just,
right in. Oh,
you know, you're all just going to go down.
I was worried that, they would start falling in one by one. And then when the very last guy in the jacket came in, I thought he was going to jump.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to jump in.
I wasn't sure where that was going. I was like,
that scared
could go
me.
really weirdly here. You know, I wasn't sure how he was going to be able to leap from there onto the apparatus and go down. I'm like going, there's going to be some real gymnastics feat here.
I'm glad that they didn't go that route, because that would have just, I think that would not have fit the tone.
No, it would have not.
So when people are in those positions, you don't know where their mind is going. You don't know what they're capable of, what they're going to do next. And they played that in this movie really well. Every single one of the characters, I thought every one of them were going to be like, I'm going to jump down there. I mean, because I'm just like, nobody is thinking rationally, which I don't blame them. And anyway,
and there was one other little thing. There was a little bit of an element of mysticism and fear that they never really called it out specifically, other than they said that it was the Devil's Kitchen.
Yeah.
But there were all these little hints about it from different kinds of ways. People talked about it and said, that's a bad place. You shouldn't go there. You shouldn't do this. And so that was a really interesting element, because at times it made you start to think, well, what's going on here? You know, it's like, why is it a bad place? And so it was interesting that there was a little bit of twist. Didn't go totally, you know, the like psycho weirdness horror film. But it did have a little bit of that I thought was
well, the
kind of
sound design added to it.
Yes.
Because they had these like almost like growls and guttural noises coming from it. And to be fair, like when I've been caving in the past, sometimes when the wind and air pressure is changing inside the cave, it makes these sort of scary noises.
Yes.
But the cave itself became a character with its own voice through the sound design. And that's why I think the sound design was so important here, is because it became this ominous, I guess you would say, antagonist in the story. How much more man versus nature can you get here?
Yeah, definitely.
You know? So
thank you for the recommendation, folks.
Yeah, thank you. It was really good. A great watch. I think it was a really good one to start our Malayalam journey on.
Yeah.
There's another one. I know that I've been seeing a lot of recommendations for, is it #home? movie, so it's available on Amazon Prime, so we'll definitely be checking that out. And let us know what you guys thought in the comments. Is this something that you have heard about in the news? Because this probably was a pretty big story in 2006.
Yeah.
So I'm sure some people might have heard about it. What would you rate this movie? Did it keep you engaged like it kept us, like through the whole thing? And remember, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing, sharing, and like button put
Put up our model.